the wrong leadership and the wrong followership.
Amen.
But you can't just assume that just automatically everything's going to work out just real good. It doesn't. In this world, it's not heaven. And things fall apart and get horrible by accident. Unless you work, unless you pray, unless you trust, unless you obey.
Amen.
That's when things get good. Laid back leadership. You just say, well, you know, the sheep, they can just, you know, we'll let them, they're happy, you know, just let them go. Oh boy, you know anything about sheep? They're in big trouble. He said, well, just let them eat anything they want to eat. Do anything they want to do. Well, our children, you know, he said, well, whatever they're doing is just, I mean, hey, you know, I provide for them. They got a roof over their head. They got clothes to wear and food to eat. There's more to being a parent. More than that, sheep fall prey to wild dogs, cougars, rustlers, disease. History records not too many years ago that 2 wild dogs killed over 180 sheep in one night. Cougars, mountain lions can do about the same thing. Boy, there's tremendous danger out there for young people, and it's up to the shepherd to understand and to provide protection. Not just a roof, not just food, not just clothes, but a roof. Now, sheep require more than any other type of livestock endless, constant, continuous, meticulous care. Boy, we could, if we had time, go into over 100 specific different items where the sheep need attention. And I want to tell you, we live in a different day than we did a few years ago.
Amen.
You say, well, I know where my children are and what they're doing. Oh, do you? Well, it used to be that everybody didn't have cell phones.
Amen.
And everybody didn't have technological tools and toys. Now, the difference between a tool and a toy, if you got it, it's a toy. If I got it, it's a tool.
Amen.
You know, that's how that works. But they need constant attention, and so do the children. So do the young people. Would you read John 10, verse 3 with me? And he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. Lead it! In a Christian school, they're not just students we got in our school. They're individuals. They're every day under your shepherding right here in this school.
Amen.
Now, some of them are with somebody else who's a little younger they are. But they're here and they're specific, and they each have needs, every single one of them. A good shepherd's going to lead. A good parent, a good school staff will lead them to green grass, fresh water, shade, safety, or shelter from the storms.
Amen.
I was telling you about a rancher, sheep rancher, that his sheep were abounding. I talked about it, didn't get into much detail, just started to last night. But how that his were well watered, well fed, healthy, and right on the other side of the fence, the next, boy, you look at them, they're sickly, their coats are poor, diseased, weak, and it's because they had a different shepherd. It wasn't the circumstances, it was the leadership. And the difference between one family and another, I've seen some really fancy houses and fancy cars. Somebody pulled up a Christian school and then a Mercedes-Benz. I say, whoa, look at those wheels. And, you know, they come in a Corvette where we were recently, and this vet comes up there and I said, oh, yeah. And, of course, they didn't offer it to me, you know, for a spin. I mean, you know, I probably would have wanted to please them and do it. But anyway, you know, it's not what kind of car, it's not what kind of threads you wear, it's not what kind of shoes you get, it's not what kind of house you live in.
Amen.
There's some incredible shepherds that live in very modest homes that have wonderful families and joy. And there's some people most miserable on earth. Oh, they got a car. Oh, yeah. And they got something else, but there's the matter of safety. You see, when there's a hireling, somebody that doesn't really care about shepherding the sheep, a parent that doesn't care all that much, the fact is that storms are going to come. Some of them come pretty early. The storms I used to see coming in on lives that were in their 19, 20, 21 years of age, something like that, now I see coming into 12, 13, 14.
Amen. Amen.
Things are changing.
Yes, Lord.
And there's the storm and the protection. And a good parent, a good leader in Christian school is going to provide relief from wounds, bruises, disease, parasites. Whoa! There's all kinds of special needs. Every student has needs. They're all different. But everyone has needs. We're back to the sheep. The sheep, beware of mud puddle. Would you say it with me? Beware. Say it like this. Beware. Let's say it. Oh, beware of mud puddle drinking. You say, what do you mean? Mud puddle drinking. What did you say, Brother Rice? Well, the shepherd is leading. And the shepherd's leading to fresh water. To the wells or to the stream with fresh water. But sheep, it is the nature of some sheep to be impatient. And they see a little puddle here on the way. Well, I'll just pause for a moment. But what they don't know, what they don't realize as sheep, is that they are just drinking contaminated water. We're talking about water that has been fouled. It's no longer acceptable. It's not safe. It's contaminated. In fact, you know what? All the other sheep that have come and other herds, they have come, and they come right through there, and they have urinated. You say, Brother Rice, you're gross. I'm just telling you the truth. The sheep have urinated, they have had manure, and all that is contaminated. And if those sheep drink from that water, they're going to pick up nematodes. They're going to pick up the eggs of liver flukes. They are going to have parasites. And of course, they don't know that. They don't know that. That's why it's so important for shepherds at school and at home to teach and explain and lead and protect and help. Because the sheep just says, well, I don't see what's a big deal. I mean, hey, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not butting some other sheep. I'm not killing somebody. I'm not doing anything bad. I mean, hey, it's just a little innocent. I'm just having a little drink here. And it seems okay. And I want to tell you, young people, and you parents, to your young people and to those that are students in your school, it seems like that it's not a big deal, and hey, see, I'm doing fine. I'm getting away with it. What I'm doing is not hurting me. But it takes time.
Amen.
And in time, after some time passes, that sheep will be riddled with parasites and disease.
Amen.
And all of a sudden, the sheep wakes up in big trouble. And wonders, why? That's what happens to students. That's what happens to children. That's what happens to teenagers. It doesn't happen. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that when all my friends are doing it. And they don't understand that internally, inside, nobody sees it but them maybe. Unless it's a very alert shepherd.
Amen.
But they're taking inside something that is destroying, and they don't even know it until it's very late. Very important. Beware of mud. That's why I said beware of mud puddle drinking. Wrong watching. You say, oh.
Amen.
There's not a lot of good to watch. But there is a lot of that which is harmful. Contaminated watching. Contaminated listening. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8. Let's read it together. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are what? Pure. Oh, that's clean. That's clean. That's good. That's okay. That's acceptable. Whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, what do you think on? The pure things. Yeah, the good and clean stuff. That's what you think about. Say, yeah, but there's other stuff too. Yeah, just like that muddy water we talked about. Just like that. Smart sheep. Smart sheep. You know, I wish I had a picture of a sheep right up here to do what I want to do, but I don't have a picture of a sheep. It's a dog. You're just going to have to pretend it's a sheep up here, okay? Because I mean, hey, if I had more time and more visuals, I would have a sheep do what I want to do, but I just have a dog. So we'll just pretend it's a sheep dog. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, smart sheep do what? They consume the clean. Boy, some of you are not too smart. Some of you, God bless you, and you parents are making sure that what you provide and that your children have, your young people have, consume the clean and good. Yeah, it's clean, pure, everybody's a smart sheep. And we got enemies. We said that sheep have enemies.
Amen.
And the devil is open for business. He hasn't closed down shop. He's very open. It used to be that he was on the side. There was always sin, but you had to look for it. Now you don't have to look for sin. Sin comes looking for you. It comes knocking on your door. A young person doesn't have to say, well, if I can just get away from my parents, if I can just find... But now it's so easy. It's everywhere, all around. And just a click and this, and you're there.
Amen.
Surrounded by it. The devil's open for business. Wish I had a sheep, but all I got's a dog. But you have to imagine that, okay. But why consume the filth and dirty when the master has that which is clean? Why would you want to go there after somebody has just used it and has not flushed yet and had substantial activity? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. And so, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to look at that stuff that's wrong? Why would you want to listen to that stuff that is... You say, well, I know it's not good. Well, then why are you listening? You say, well, I know. You say, well, Brother Rex, you think it's good? I'm not God. But if you will ask God, if you have any conscience at all, if you have any sense of right and wrong, then you will have a feeling that's bad. Then run from it.
Amen.
And if it's good, then go for it. You say, yeah, but... Yeah, we have the flesh, I know that. We have the sinful nature. But why consume the filth? Would you read with me 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, everyone? Be sober.